Hello there, you join me on a very hot day in the second week of August, and I've just moved the cows through to another field. What I'm about to do is move this salt block through so they have it with them. So I'm just going to drag that through, and in a second I will show you the cattle. Now, where we're currently grazing is a flood meadow, so it is very prone to flooding. Last year we had a big flood, and now we are actually in a drought now in the summer of 2025. And well, rather, we're not in a drought anymore. We had a droughty spring. That's what we had, very dry spring. And this field here, this flood meadow, has really saved the day. Actually, it's come in handy just with enough forage to last me, and it just seems to have retained its moisture better. Let me just get this through and I can actually show you what we're doing. So this is the forage we're grazing here. It's the greenest, nicest field I have right now. And it's not by any means, what would normally be considered a productive field. Because it's throughout the wintertime, it's so saturated with water. And sometimes it's underwater. Last year it was underwater with 2 feet of water for a while. So what we get is a lot of rushes like this plant here. You get rushes and reeds, and they can cope in the saturated wet conditions in the soils. What they do is they draw air down their stem to the roots. So roots need air, plant roots need air, and that's why compacted soils really struggle to grow good forage. So what these rushes do in the water is they actually suck the air right down the stem. The stem's hollow, and that's why they can survive and the grasses don't. But like I said, we've got some really good grass this year here. I guess with the dry spring, instead of a wet spring, we had a very dry spring. So this soil actually really thrived. So we'll leave the salt where it is, and we'll look at some cattle. So they're really happy here. Because of the plant species that are in this field, all of these rushes, I don't force these cattle to eat every last plant, because some of the less desirable plants, like the rushes, aren't going to quite satisfy the cattle quite as much. So what I do is I give them a little bit more space, therefore their selectivity goes up. They're able to select their diet from a wider range of forages, range of plants. You can see here patch of thistles as well. But I will say this, for the past year, almost 2 years, I've grazed this, and it hadn't had cattle on it for many, many years before that. And when I came here into this field, it was like chest high stinging nettles and thistles and rushes. And there was grass there in places, but it wasn't everywhere. But I think just the impact of having the cattle on here has made a fantastic difference. So the impact of the cattle actually being to graze those plants, trample some into the soil and produce manure, cow pats, just changes the bacterial environment of the soil, spreads the seeds out, gets light down to the plant the bottom of the plant so it can grow, and just a whole host of benefits. This is why you know, large sort of ruminant animals are really crucial for managing environments. People don't realize this. Some of these environments co-evolved with a large ruminant animal, so we can't expect to just leave it and it just manage itself. If you take the animals off, you'd have to do a load of manual machinery work to manage that agricultural land in the same manner, because the cattle are doing so much work for us. They're a living, breathing creature. They're moving, they're aerating the soil, they're returning biomass down into the soil, they're fermenting the grass in their stomach and changing the biome of the environment, which is all good stuff. So it's a really nice day for it. It's warm out here, but they're coping well. It's for today. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.